That's a very nerdy thing to say. I got my mic cord stuck on the Doctor Who bracelet. It's weird when people are staring at me.
It's even worse in person.
Welcome to the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast, starring Katie.
And KJ sound effects.
Thank you. Okay, we are live at Studio Movie Grill. This is a kind of nerdy night out, and we are getting ready. This is the pre-party for Avengers Endgame. Now, Katie, you have seen Endgame, correct?
Correct.
Is there anybody here right now that has not seen Endgame? So Ryan has not seen Endgame. He is one of our guests for our kind of nerdy night out. First time seeing it. What are you thinking right now?
Okay, so Captain America.
I can't look at you.
Because Chris Evans' contract is up.
Okay.
And he wants to get behind the camera, still work with Marvel, but he doesn't want to be in front of it anymore.
He does? I did not
he
hear
wants
that.
to do a little bit of directing.
Director Chris Evans.
Yep. He wants
He's all
everything.
grown up.
Oh, I know.
It's the next step.
Precious.
It is.
I'm saying Black Widow, and there's a method to my madness. Follow me on this.
Okay.
The movie that's coming out with her will take place in the 90s before any of this hullabaloo snap.
You see, this is why we're kind of nerdy, because look at Ryan
so-
knows all
I'm
this stuff
following
that we
along.
don't. Okay.
And
I got it.
Okay.
There's another reason.
Yeah.
The Hulk hasn't been out since he got the crap beat out of him by Thanos.
That's true. That was really funny
So
that the
what-
Hulk wouldn't
Good.
come out.
Yeah.
Ah, you
No.
big
No. No.
No, but what better way to get the Hulk to come back than watch Black Widow go down? They have a sort of relationship.
Well, they
It's-
tried, but then he got all
they're-
feeling sorry for himself
The
and
whole
had to
space
disappear.
thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, Ragnarok was good.
Ragnarok was the best.
Saw that popcorn in the VIP room
Oh, did you really?
with the kids.
No way.
Yeah, they just had Netflix on, and I'm like, is that Ragnarok? Yeah, it's Jeff Goldblum. Come on, girls, let's sit down and watch
I
this for a
think they
bit.
hit the money with Ragnarok, though. Like, Thor is kind of supposed to be funny.
Yes.
Because, like, the first two, it was way too dark and gloomy and feel sorry for myself and
And
Natalie
the
Portman.
second they changed the tone, oh, Thor's pretty cool.
He's comedic relief now.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you should be taking advantage of the fact that Chris Hemsworth is really funny.
Yes.
Like,
He's got chops.
yes.
I'm
So,
excited for the new Men in Black movie.
yes. Have you seen the trailer?
I have not, but I just want to. I literally don't watch trailers. I've only watched one trailer for Endgame. That was the
Okay.
first one that came out.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm gonna see it. Stop feeding me. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm full. I'm gonna go.
I'm full.
I'm full. Stop this.
Well, there is a Men in Black International trailer.
I'm gonna see it no matter what.
It
Uh,
seems
yeah.
funny. And it has Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's, Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, they had great chemistry in Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
And they're back again, and they're not trying to be the characters that we fell in love with from the first Men in Black. This is their own.
They want to be their own thing,
Yeah, they're their own
which
thing.
is good.
And Liam Neeson, you just
I like Liam Neeson.
you hear his voice and you're like, yeah.
Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
What?
Is there anything Game of Thrones that we can really talk about other than it was a long battle scene?
It has 3 more episodes.
It's
The night
just-
is dark and full of terrors,
It is.
and the lights go out.
Yeah, and
Turn the brightness up on your TV.
I
Yes.
just
Turn up the contrast. Turn up the brightness.
Yeah. Please watch
Hold-
in the
hold down
middle
the
of the
blinds.
night.
I did all of that stuff. Do I need to put sunglasses on?
Well, okay. Well, it also
No.
depends on. It also depends on what sort of TV. Do you have a CRT? Are you working with a big tube TV? What do you got?
No, but it's a 4K. Don't get me started, because Katie, my husband does not like our TV. We're watching this, and number one, I'm mortified because we have a guest in our house who
Yes.
is dying to see Game of Thrones. And I'm like, he's too nice to say, hey, your TV sucks and I can't see anything.
You can come
So
over to my house. It's like the IMAX. My TV's 3 inches away from the couch.
Well, I mean, by the time we just kept moving closer, that was how we were. We were like little kids,
Scoot,
sitting in front of the
scoot,
TV.
scoot.
But he was too nice to say, "Hey, your TV's terrible, and I regret coming over here because it's ruining Game of Thrones for me." But my husband was just sitting there, and he's got his arms crossed, and I could tell he had the "I told you so" look on his face. Like,
He's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
having a good time.
I told you we needed a new TV. Look at this. It's terrible.
Well, I can recommend the one I have. I don't know the specifics, but I bought it at Costco.
We have a perfectly fine. It's a Sony. It's a 4K. It's only about a year and a half old.
Well, there's your problem. It's a year and a half old.
Yeah.
What else
You need
can
like
you do?
the projector one.
Where can
Yeah.
My phone can be a projector, and that's
Yeah.
pretty freaking awesome.
Yes.
You need the big one, like in your basement.
But that's what I feel like. Like, how much further can we go with this? How much?
8K.
8K is the next big
But
thing.
what
Yeah,
is 8K
PS5.
going to look like? Is 8K going to look like you're like in the room?
I mean, your eyes can only process so much
Yeah.
at a time.
Right. That's how I feel. So,
But
yeah.
maybe it'll be like the IMAX at your house.
Basically, that's what they're going for.
Like full wall-to-wall
You could
TV.
have Planet Earth right there.
Boy, I do
You
love
feel like
Planet
you're
Earth.
in Winterfell.
I don't
No.
know. I don't
No,
want
no,
to
no,
be.
no, no.
Nope, I don't want to be in Winterfell.
It's a little cold.
That's not a good place
Yeah.
to
The
be.
Stark
it's
must
not good
always
for
be in
me.
Winterfell.
No, but even if you didn't see last night, you got to be wondering. There's too many Starks. There's too many Starks.
Too many Starks.
How is this?
Too many-
That's offensive.
How is no? I mean, I love them all. How is this going to work? And also, this is not spoiling anything. Can you just stop putting Ghost in random scenes?
You said you wanted the wolves.
Well, we love our puppers.
You
I
wanted
do.
the dire wolves.
They are doing him a disservice by he's like pop-up Ghost.
You wanted
He's
the
like-
dire wolves. That's what you get.
Hey,
Here I am.
you got him.
It is
Yeah.
I.
But better
Literally,
than not.
his head just like kind of pops in a scene once in a while, and they don't
Hi,
make any
guys.
mention of him.
You wanted dire
Wolf.
wolves.
I
the
wanted
whole
dire
budget
wolves.
was for dragons.
I didn't want Aladdin, A Whole New World with Danny
5-minute
and
scene.
John
Yes.
in
Yeah.
the
Yes.
first episode. I was
Turns
like,
out this is the live-action remake of Aladdin.
we could have had
This is the preview.
Yeah, right.
we could have had dire wolves with puppies, and those puppies
No.
having
Do
Do you
puppies.
expect a happy ending?
No, but I wanted to see dire wolves, and now I'm really mad that all they do is just like literally like Ghost is
guys.
nobody. He should be with John,
Should.
and so then I'm mad at John because I'm a pet lover.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, you got dragons now. You got your new
You got your
awesome
new shiny lizard
shiny
pet.
things. You're forgetting
Yeah.
about your loyal dog who just keeps
Bestest puppers.
popping up in scenes. You don't even look at him. I'm pretty mad about that. So Katie just stepped away because we've got people showing up for our pre-party. There's tissues if you need them. Do you have the tissues out, Katie? We have Kind of Nerdy Girls tissues for
Haven't
anybody.
decorated yet.
We brought a full box of tissues
You're
to
gonna-
the theater
You might need them.
on Thursday.
I came prepared when I saw it originally.
Oh, you've got Tony, who you could, he's the original Indiana geek here. You can follow him, Indiana Geeking. He has
kids.
secret pockets for his tissues. Have you seen Endgame? Oh, you can come over and get on a microphone. Ryan, do you mind sharing the mic?
No, never
All right,
mind.
this is a family affair. It's a
stand up
popcorn
then.
family.
Oh, I could have crouched down. Come
Pass
on.
the
Not that
microphone.
old.
Oh, I like your shirt. Geeking in Indiana. Can I get those? Do you sell those?
T-Public, yes.
Oh, very nice. We've been looking at maybe selling some Kind of Nerdy Girls shirts. So if you'll get a
Talk to
Kind of
me.
Nerdy Girls shirt, oh, that would be great. Can we have a store together? Would that make more sense?
We can figure something out. Why
Okay.
not?
All right. Can I also sell cat stuff, like pillows with Grayson's face on them?
I know T-Public does have pillows because I've got Geeking in Indiana pillows, so more than likely.
So you have not seen Endgame yet.
Nope.
What are you thinking right now? What
What's
are you
the
feeling?
over-under?
Well, I've got a pocket full of tissues, so that should give
Okay,
you some
yeah.
insight into what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so I feel like you're probably at the point that I was. You're about an hour before showtime. You're nervous, right? Are you anxious?
At this point, I'm just thrilled that I was able to make it as somebody that works in social media, both as a hobby and as a job. I was able to make it all weekend without any spoilers.
That is
I am
amazing.
going into this completely blind.
That is
and I love
great.
it.
High five.
Yay!
So-
Yay! Yes, Ryan is doing the same thing here. So you're going in blind. What do you think of the future of MCU?
I'm trying not to think about it right
Okay.
now. I mean, we know a couple of the films that are coming up,
Right.
but right now I'm just live in the moment sort of thing. Let's
Yeah.
see what happens, and then I'll worry about it after I know what happens over the course of the next 3 hours.
Thursday night we saw it opening nights. This is the second time for me, which I think I'm more excited. Well, I'm more relaxed now, so I
Yeah.
know what to expect. Even though there are things that that I don't want to see again, but
Now you're just looking for Easter eggs and whatnot.
yeah, that you can go back and be like, oh,
I see that.
I think even some of the dialogue was so fast, and everybody was just really on it.
Yeah.
And that I feel like there were a lot
Yeah.
of things that we missed. But the theater was that we were in Brownsburg was it was that like great vibe of I'm in a room with all of these people.
We are
care
here.
about
We
this.
are family.
We're all in this together. Everybody's quiet when we need to be quiet. There are moments where you can't help yourself. Like, you're gonna be like, yes!
Finally.
Tony's been helping us. He's been spreading the word about our wish, about Isabel, our Harry Potter wish. Yes, so that is Wishes, Wands, and Wine is happening next Friday night at Black Hawk Winery. If you are listening locally here in Indianapolis, if you are not listening in Indianapolis, you can donate. You can donate online. So the website just went live. You can donate to your house. Have you ever been sorted? Where are you at in the Harry Potter?
I'm a Hufflepuff.
You're Hufflepuff? All right.
I've done actually 2 to 3 different, I think twice on Pottermore and once on a BuzzFeed or something like that. Every one of them crossed the line Hufflepuff.
Do you? I'm always Gryffindor, which I thought I was Hufflepuff, but I'm always Gryffindor with a really close second, Hufflepuff. But then, did you do your Patronus? Did you get your Patronus on Pottermore?
I did do the Patronus, but it was so long ago I can't remember.
Oh, are you for real? Well, here's why I remember mine, because it was very specific. It was a tortoise shell cat.
Wow.
Surprise!
Right.
Surprise!
And I actually happened to have a tortoise shell cat. So I took a picture of her with the screen so that no one's going to believe me that it got this specific. Like, your Patronus is your actual cat right now. Thank you, babe, for the Coca-Cola. I appreciate it. Oh, that's right. Thank you for the Pepsi products. We love Studio Movie Grill. Is anything else going on besides Game of Thrones and Endgame that we should talk about?
Does anything else matter?
I don't know. Does it?
I have been so focused on next weekend's May the 4th.
Oh,
and there's
yes.
a lot of events going on that the Star Wars costumers are doing. I've been focused on getting a costume done for that.
Oh, what are you doing for May the 4th?
I'm getting one of the Resistance pilot costumes
Nice.
done. I'd like to say like Poe Dameron, but in actuality it's more like Snap Wexley. But
Okay.
there's like 20 to 30 different events happening around central Indiana.
Do you have that on your website?
There's too many for me to list.
I'm calling you out.
And I was going to do a listing of events for May the 4th, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at the stuff and it's like I can't tell which is private events, which are public events.
Okay.
Because I'm just going off of Star Wars Indiana's listing on their forums for members.
So if someone's listening and they have an event, can they tweet you so that they share the information? It's
get a hold of me at Indiana Geeking.
Okay, awesome.
All one word.
Awesome. Thanks, Tony. Enjoy the show.
All right.
All right. Katie, is there anything else going on in your world that's nerdy besides Endgame? Yeah, I know. You can take the microphone, Katie.
I'm good.
You don't want to be on your show?
I'm working.
Oh, okay. All right, honey, take the microphone. Can we talk about how you definitely thought it was our TV last night that was bad?
Yes.
It went in. It
Kids, don't make me pull this
And
booty.
that's primarily because I don't like our TV.
I know. I don't know where you were. I've already talked about how you were sitting there with your arms crossed going, this stupid TV.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It was everyone's TV.
Okay.
It was everyone.
Yeah, I do feel a little bit better about it. It doesn't change the fact that I still don't like the TV, but you know.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, that's fine. All right. Welcome to the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast.
Thank
please,
you.
State your name and whether or not you've seen Avengers Endgame.
Patrick Johnson, and this will be my 4th time this evening.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you saw it.
Thursday night,
Yep.
Friday afternoon,
Okay.
and then Saturday morning.
Okay, and we have to be really careful because there are people here who
Yes.
have not seen it.
I can't even understand that.
I-
How's that possible?
Well, I mean, there's not
There were
enough
a lot of seats when I saw it. Hey, I took 30 people from our office on Friday afternoon.
Oh, that's right.
That was a good time.
So where do you work?
I work for Ascension at the Ministry Service Center.
And that is a good place to work.
It is a good place to work.
You take your
We love it there.
you take your employees to Endgame.
We do, and we like to intersperse a little superhero-ness, some Star Wars stuff
Oh,
in
do
our
you?
work. Oh, absolutely.
So what kind of do you have, like Star Wars days where you get to dress
We'll put
up?
it this way. We're not doing May the 4th this year at work, a celebratory thing.
Okay.
And everyone's mad at me for it.
Oh, well maybe you should.
Well, we should,
I have
but we save the budget for something we're doing later in the month. So.
Ooh, is it nerdy also?
Not exactly.
Oh,
It's more of
man.
a 500 thing, but we do a lot of nerdy things.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
So what is your top fandoms? So you're here for Endgames, and you've seen it 4 times. so-
Yes, this is the 4th.
Okay.
But I'm definitely, I grew up, DC and Marvel guy,
Mm-hmm.
but I love, all the Marvel backstory stuff. I read Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War when it came out in 92. and
Wow.
I've been waiting for these movies. I'm like, this is amazing.
Has it been a good experience for you still, having read those comics?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, when it comes to, you've got a lot of hardcore comic fans that are diehards and really, really want to preserve that's the way it was. But comics change like soap operas.
Yes.
Oh, someone
Yeah.
died. Don't worry, they'll be back in a month. It's
Right,
fine.
right.
Lost my mind when Superman was killed off. And,
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. He came back.
Yeah.
Weird red-blue thing, but eventually he came back normal.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the storytelling.
That's how I feel. That I don't get mad about a lot of stuff because it's not my story to tell.
Right.
This is someone else's interpretation. So far, Marvel has not hired me to write any stories for them, even though I have some ideas.
That's surprising, yeah.
Right? Here's what I want. This doesn't spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. I want the opposite point of view of Endgame from all the other characters, because there was some organizing, right?
Oh, sure.
Like, I'm
I
not
get
going
where
to
you're
say
going,
anything
but
else. Yeah.
we could talk in code because
Oh,
we know what's
absolutely.
going on. I loved the whole thing. No.
So I thought it was interesting because you have a take on how you should watch these movies. So if somebody's listening right now, and I actually was surprised this weekend when I posted about who's going to see Endgame, the amount of people who said, I'm not because I haven't seen a single Marvel movie. And how do I watch them?
Were they on Jupiter
I don't know.
over the last 11 years? I'm uncertain how that played out.
One lady said she's been, she was pregnant when the first Iron Man came out, and she has had 3 kids since it.
Oh, wow.
Literally, she's just been making babies, so she's been busy producing more humans. I guess that's an okay
awesome.
excuse, right?
Well, we can track this, this whole time over my son's, life basically, because we wanted him involved and enjoy the superhero thing. So he was 5 when Iron Man came out.
Oh my god!
And he's 16 now. And he was with me 2 of the 3 times I already saw it. So
oh my gosh.
He's indoctrinated pretty well.
That is really cool. I mean, that's a lot like our parents being able to take us to all the Star Wars movies.
It's just fun, know? And he's like, Dad, are just you and I going Thursday night, right? And I'm like, yeah, just the 2 of us. Okay, good.
And that's awesome because at that age, something like, I'm not going to hang out with you, Dad.
The day before, it's like, Dad, you're annoying. Get away from me.
Right.
So nice little change there. Welcome, Mr. Hyde versus Dr. Jekyll. That's what happens.
Oh, yes. So how would you suggest someone watch these movies if they were going to start right now? I have never seen a Marvel movie. What do you do?
Yeah, I like the idea of doing it in somewhat chronological order.
You do?
Kind of, but
Okay.
I think you miss something too if you don't watch it, as they were premiered, because seeing Robert Downey as Iron Man is kind of where you want to start, and everybody else wants to go Captain America, First Avenger, and then Captain Marvel, and I'm like,
yeah, I don't like that at all. And
Captain America was the 4th?
You had
to come out.
Because what was it? Iron Man,
Incredible Hulk,
which you don't really need to see.
Yeah,
you
you do, because there's an end credit scene that ties it kind of in.
So rent it and fast
Man,
forward all the way to the end.
Iron Man 2, then Thor, and then Captain America: First Avenger.
Yeah.
And then that leads into a First Avengers.
When we were getting close to Endgame, I would say probably like a couple months ago, I saw a lot of people starting to circulate memes on how to watch these. And I was like, that's not how they came out. Like, I don't think that you watch them in that order.
I do like the one idea you get some backstory, but there's something about the story, actually how they came out.
Yes,
So
yes.
I would go either way there.
Katie, how would you watch get on a microphone. This is your podcast too. How would you watch the Marvel movies? Turn her up. She's very quiet.
I'm very
How would you
quiet.
the Marvel movies?
All
you watch
22.
them?
Chronologically, starting
Really?
with the first Avenger,
Why?
See?
because it makes sense in the timeline.
So if you watch the First Avenger first,
Yeah.
you get a preview at the end of Avengers.
Yeah.
So isn't that
If you just
confusing?
ignore the previews and you watch the movies in that order, because you'll see it all eventually anyway.
Yeah, but part
makes
of the
sense
fun
in
is
the
the end
timeline.
credit.
Eh,
That's part
I
of
get
the
that
fun.
too. And then you would watch Captain Marvel
Yeah.
next.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I think the
And Iron
first
Man.
Iron Man,
And then what, Iron Man 2 right after?
something
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
so.
Yeah.
They went back to back.
I only
Thor.
remember towards the end, it's like a quick succession with stuff.
When
Yeah.
the ones when they tie together, you have to watch Iron Man 2 and then Thor immediately after.
Yep.
'Cause
And then
Mjolnir
right
is
at the
shown.
end,
Yes.
it's Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, and then Endgame, all back to back.
Right.
Yep.
So what do you think the future, without affecting anyone who hasn't seen Endgame
Well,
yet?
I definitely do have an issue with Spider-Man Far From Home,
Okay.
knowing that it's coming out.
I agree.
And knowing that it's not a prequel, it's like, well, it kind of tells you that something's going to happen.
There were a few things that, I guess, you have to plan, and, there's some
Sure.
marketing that you have to do, but I agree with you on that I wasn't, I thought it took a little bit away that they're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's another Spider-Man movie. But also that trailer, the last trailer they put out, I also felt like gave too much.
Oh, yeah, totally.
There were some things where I was like, I didn't want to know that yet.
Yeah, and that's my wife won't even watch trailers for that reason.
Oh, really?
Well, and I'll tell you one thing about. See, am I going to give anything? I'm not going to give anything away.
Okay.
But the trailer, they kept so much out of the trailers
Yes.
for Endgame. So much they
Yes.
could have shown that you're like, wait, what?
It was
pretty amazing.
And something that really impressed me was how they basically just did a history lesson of all the movies leading up,
Right.
like
Don't
every
say too
single
much.
character. No, I'm talking about the trailers leading up to the
Yeah,
movie.
because the
Oh,
trailers
yeah,
actually
the
did
trailer.
that.
Yeah, the trailers
It showed
actually told a story
Iron
of
Man in the
everybody.
desert,
Everybody
you know.
coming in. Like Iron Man
yeah.
starting, Thor starting, like Thor 1, 2, and 3 coming
Yeah.
through.
Oh,
it was
they-
really cool.
yeah.
I thought they did that. It was
was
like
good.
it wasn't too much, but it was elegant enough. I think.
Yeah, I get that.
And even at before Shazam, because we did a kind of nerdy night out for
Oh, did
Shazam,
you?
and even before that, they did this Marvel Cinematic Universe, like basically a commercial beforehand. And it was the, thank you for being a part of the
Amazing.
universe. And it just like hit you in the gut.
I mean,
you
it
know?
is cool. You're like, God, I've seen a lot of these movies.
Yeah. They're
You
a
know,
big
it seemed
part
as a
of our
kid-
lives.
You kicked into Shazam, so that
Yes.
was when I was 6. I saw Superman the movie,
Okay.
and that started the point of my life where I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Let me tie the towel around my neck. Oh, I broke my ankle because I went off the deck trying to fly.
No way.
But prior to that, Shazam was my number one guy. But
Was it really?
Captain
Captain Marvel.
Captain
Right.
Marvel.
Yes.
Shazam's what he says, and so
Right.
we can get into that nerd debate about
Totally.
which Captain Marvel. Well, there's
And,
two of them.
and interesting that they actually came out so close together.
Oh yeah,
Right.
They totally did
doesn't
that on
happen.
purpose.
Of course they did. Well, that's the DC Marvel, head-to-head thing.
Which is so.
Hey, we're gonna create Deathstroke. That's okay. We're gonna make somebody called Deadpool that looks just like him.
Right. It's so ridiculous. And I think we're more Marvel fans than we are DC
Oh, yeah.
fans. And partly because we want DC to make good movies.
I do too. Just not dark.
We're just really cheering for you, man.
Oh,
Like,
gosh,
come on, DC,
when you get
can do it.
Aquaman and Shazam, you're like, okay, there's hope.
Right.
But then the movie I watched, waited for my entire life was Justice League, and I
Yes.
walked out, and I liked it because it's Justice League, but I also walked out going, B+. Could have done better, guys.
Right. I don't want to walk out of a movie that I've been looking forward to. Yeah, I woke
Like
up on
forever.
Saturday mornings and watched the
Yep.
stupid color bars waiting for Justice League
Right,
to come
of
on.
course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you don't know, are we actually going to get a Flash movie? Are we getting Cyborg? Are we
I don't
getting
know.
Green
Right.
Lantern Corps? What?
Yeah, well, I know you're getting another Shazam.
I was so into that. Do you know, growing up, no one I knew read the Avengers.
No.
Now everybody knew Justice League.
I agree.
But,
yeah.
Oh, you read Avengers? Well, I read X-Men, but I don't read the Avengers.
Yes, I was a weird little girl because I loved Captain America.
Well,
Right?
Ditto,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, and most people, who's Captain America? That was why I was actually a little nervous when they launched this whole thing with Iron Man, because not a lot of people knew who Iron Man was.
Right. I mean, there was the 60s. He had the cartoon, just like the Spider-Man one. I mean, there was a theme song.
Yeah.
I remember watching those in the late 70s. and reruns going, I didn't know there was an Iron Man cartoon.
Right.
And we loved it.
Man,
I thought it was fun.
Are those out somewhere? Are they on?
I have no idea. You know what I did find is DC, I think it's All Access.
Okay.
They have the old 70s Shazam.
Do they
The
really?
live action. I lived for that as a
Oh,
kid.
that would be awesome.
It's Billy and his mentor driving around in a Winnebago all over the U.S. And you're like, every time Shazam jumped to fly, you're like, oh, it was the 50s Superman serials were better than this.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
that
it's
is
so bad.
That is fantastic.
But it's fun.
All right, well, I am gonna wrap up here
This has been fun.
It's getting loud. And there's getting more people here, and I'm getting more nervous that I'm gonna say something and spoil Endgame for someone.
I know, I'm so worried. The whole time I'm sitting over there, don't say anything about Endgame.
I know.
You've seen it 3 times.
And isn't it funny? I mean, everyone is watching this movie or knows about this movie. It's like, no matter what you're doing, what field you work in, like one of the first questions in the last few days when you see someone is, have you seen it yet? Yeah.
Those who know me, the question has been, how many times have you seen it?
That's funny.
And although they're not surprised when I say 3 already and my 4th is going to be Monday night, they're still astounded by it.
And it's equally, so third time was just as enjoyable?
3rd time was the first time I saw it with my wife.
Okay.
And so it was a lot more fun because she was into it too.
Oh, yeah. It's fun when
but
you're sitting with someone and you're
who's
waiting
really
for their
into-
reactions.
Yeah, we usually plan a superhero outing with our life group from church, so we had everybody do that Saturday morning. We had a ball.
Oh,
Such
nice.
a good time.
Very cool.
And then, my son asked me yesterday, you're not going to see this again today, are you? I'm like, no, I'm going to take a rest and then see it tomorrow night. So here we are.
I love it. Well, we'll be heading into the movie theater shortly. And have you been to PopCon?
No.
Okay, you got to go to PopCon.
Okay.
Because we're sitting here, everything that you're talking about, that's what we
Good
talk
time.
about all weekend
That's awesome.
long at
Okay.
PopCon. So we'd love to see you
Great,
there.
thank you. This was fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. It's the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast with special guest Ryan.
Hello, ladies.
The husband who hates his TV, Patches. And Katie, who got bored and left. My name's KJ. We'll see you next time.